Hey, I'm Chef Angie. You've seen me on Next Level Chef on Fox. Can you believe I got to cook with Gordon Ramsay? Oh my gosh. Today I get to rock Team Naisha's apron. Yes, I made sure I washed it since I've been sleeping with it this whole time. We're gonna cook what I cooked on episode 2. Now, better grabs because I got to go to the grocery store today. Not as many nerves because I have more than 40 minutes. So I'm gonna show you what would have come out of my kitchen if I hadn't been going crazy on Next Level Chef. Today we're gonna make an amazing flank steak. It's one of the most amazing pieces of meat, tons of flavor. It can be a little bit tough to cook, but it's an amazing piece of meat. Always add a lot of color. I love roasted carrots. So we're going to put these carrots in some ginger and honey and char them and put an amazing color on the plate. We're also gonna do some smashed potatoes that has a little bit of thyme and salt right underneath that steak so that when we pour our green chimichurri sauce, oh my gosh, it's gonna be metallic, it's gonna be spicy, it's gonna have a lot of flavor, a lot of color. It's gonna be an amazing Next Level Chef dish. So what I've already done is blanched my potatoes for a little bit just to kind of get them soft so that we can smash them, and then we'll put them back in the oven and get them crispy with lots of salt and thyme and oil. Oh, they're gonna be so good. They're gonna really soak up the juices and the chimichurri sauce. Now, we also have our flat iron steak. The good news is I get to bring it to room temperature with a little thyme and seasoning. We have more than 40 minutes, and so we're getting a little bit of aromatics on this baby. Of course, we'll take them off when we take it to the pan because you don't ever want to burn your aromatics, and then we'll add them back in with some butter. We're going to char these carrots. We've got them in a little bit of ginger and honey. Oh, they're gonna be so good. We're getting them nice and sweet and tender. Yes, those carrots are gonna be gorgeous. I've got my plates out here. I can't really decide which one I wanna go with. I really like how bold colors pop off of black. That's kind of my style. So I may end up going with the black because we've got the carrots and the potatoes and the chimichurri. It's gonna be freaking amazing. So I'm trying to think, okay, what did I have on the show? I'm trying to remember. It's all just like a little bit of PTSD when you think about it because I was a horrible ingredient grabber. I was very jealous of some of my contestant mates because they made incredible grabs and they would like come out with these dishes that had 16 things and sauces, and I'm like, well, I grabbed some mushrooms and tomatoes. And so where do I put them on the plate? How do I impress these guys? So I'm getting to make a dish with a lot more opportunity today. So I think when I ran to the platform on episode 2, I grabbed some mushrooms, some tomatoes. I did grab something green because I'm really good about always remembering to grab something green. I know I got a great piece of steak, and that was the main thing I wanted to go for. I'm like, okay, I got to get this flat iron steak. I saw it, I grabbed it. I know I can make this wonderful and on temp. Then now plating. How do you make your tomatoes sweeter? I thought, well, maybe I'll grill them. I need to add some fat. Chef Naisha helped me with that. Like, oh, how am I gonna make this pretty on the plate? But the flavor is gonna be on point. The flavor was on point on the show, and the flavor will be on point today for sure. I love to blanch these potatoes and get them creamy and then smash them and like literally just smash them. Like I was like, oh, what am I gonna smash my potatoes with? I grabbed a big ass bowl and we're just gonna literally just smash them. I mean, you could probably have a utensil to do that, but why when you have a big ass bowl? So we're just gonna smash them down. And what you do is you add a little bit more oil and a little bit, of course, more salt, of course. And where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are. And you crisp these up, and they make the perfect vehicle to put your steak and your chimichurri on because they're really crispy and creamy at the same time. And they soak up your sauces and your juice, and then you've got this amazing, perfect bite of everything on your plate. We're gonna get plenty of neutral oil on here because you don't want it to burn, and plenty of salt. We've got some garlic and some thyme for aromatics. You could add rosemary if you wanted. You could add tarragon. It's whatever the aromatics that you really love. I really love thyme with steak, thyme and garlic. especially since I'm doing ginger and honey on the carrots. So I think that all goes together and it plays well. It hits every part of your mouth the way you want it to. So we're gonna put these back in the oven until they're nice and crispy, but still creamy in the middle. So let's get this steak on. What do you think? All right, we're gonna throw this steak on here. I really like a nice tight sear to really sear in those juices. I love my Hexclad pans. Oh, do you hear that? Woo. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be nice, nice, nice. Cool thing about the Hexclad and getting used to working with Hexclad pans, you don't have to have as much fire under these babies as you do other pans. Man, good, solid, even heat. This piece of steak is off the chuck, so it's gotta cook it just right for it to be tender. It has all the flavor. It has all the marbling, all the flavor. You're not gonna eat something better than this, really, as far as flavor, next to the shoulder, off the chuck. But you have to cook it just right so that it's tender. So there is a trick to that. So one of the things that I completely and totally love on a flavorful steak is some sort of green chimichurri sauce. You can do parsley chimichurri sauce. You can do chimichurri sauce with like kale. You can do parsley and kale. You can just get really creative, which I usually do. Now found these amazing carrots that we're gonna put on the plate, and the carrot tops are just phenomenal. They taste delicious. I always taste them, make sure you don't have a bitter green. These are super sweet, super herby and earthy, and have that just right amount of metallic. I had this great blood orange, and I had some of these great tangerines and lemons, and you put a lot of acid in a chimichurri sauce because there's a lot of oil in chimichurri. You really want a lot of salt and acid as well. And so I thought, ooh, I'm gonna use these acidic fruits that I've got up here, and I'm gonna make a carrot top blood orange chimichurri. And you know what, guys? We'll see how it turns out. I kind of made a grab in my pantry. This may be a new thing on my menu. We better turn that steak. Ooh, yeah, woo! We've got a great sear on this baby. I like it like this. I like that good, tight, fast, hot sear. We're gonna add some butter. We're gonna add some aromatics. We're gonna add some garlic. Ooh, yeah. We're gonna start getting some flavor on this baby. It's gonna be so good. We're gonna throw it in the oven and let it cook a little slower and get super tender and nice. Yeah, baby. We're gonna re-salt it, re-season it at every stage. Look how beautiful and shiny that is. You wanna keep testing your meat. Oh, you've got about medium, rare, but right now it's right at rare. I'm gonna put it in the oven for just a little bit, and we'll get it to that perfect medium rare. You want to cover your chimichurri in some oil. You can always add more oil. You can always add more seasoning, more acid. You just keep making it until it's perfect. I have to have a little red pepper flake, or even some Szechuan, maybe some Szechuan peppers. I love to use a little garlic in mine. And then now for the acid. I really wanted to use my blood orange that I had in the pantry. First of all, it's just so acidic and so sweet, and it's rich. It's so beautiful. I love that. It is gonna need a little bit of lemon, so we'll do a lemon. And I was thinking a little bit of tangerine will really, really set off that blood orange flavor. And we'll have sweet and acid there. And I'm using avocado oil because I love avocado oil. I like the neutral taste. I like olive oil too, but when I'm already working with something that's metallic, like the carrot tops or parsley or kale, I tend to go towards avocado oil because it's not metallic on metallic. The avocado oil is a smoother, sweeter flavor profile. You know, fat really absorbs salt, so you've got all of this olive oil and acid in there, so you're gonna have to salt it good. Now, acid will help bring out the salt flavor. So if you're wondering if you're right there where you're like, oh, it might need to be a little bit more salty, it might need a little more acid, if you've got to add a little of both, add your acid first and taste it, because the acid will make the salt more prevalent. And then if it needs more salt, then add some more salt. What you have to remember about salt and acid is they enhance the flavor of your dish. They don't change the flavor of your dish. If your dish sucks and you add salt, it is suckier. Is that a word? But if your dish is great, it's got all the flavors God intended for it to have, you've done everything responsible with your dish, but it just needs a pop, it probably needs salt or acid. Go with the acid first, then the salt, because they complement each other, and they'll just enhance that dish. We did add pepper flakes. Peppers change the flavor of a dish. So you can have a dish that doesn't taste right. Start adding peppers and maybe get somewhere with it, because pepper actually changes the flavor profile. So pick your peppers wisely. I tend not to use black pepper if I'm using other peppers, because I'm not a huge fan of just plain old black pepper for no reason. There are reasons for black pepper, such as gravy, for real. I like white pepper, I like all my red peppers, all of my Thai chili peppers, bell peppers. Those actually change the taste of your dish when you're cooking with those. We're gonna give this a taste. It smells good. It does need more acid, and I think it needs like sharp lemon acid. I can taste the sweet of the blood orange off the red pepper, and man, is that good. I'm gonna do a little bit more garlic. Boy, I'm getting excited about this. The salt level was on point. Yeah, now I'm getting the lemon in there. Oh, this is gonna be good. I hope I don't eat it all. I might have just enough for the plate. Damn, that's pretty perfect. Well, I'll see y'all later. I love this carrot top chimichurri. Why didn't I have carrot tops on the show? That's gonna sit there and mellow out. The red pepper is gonna blend in a little more. We're gonna get our steak out of the oven. We're gonna work on plating, because man, we're just about done with this plate. I think I'm gonna pick the black plate. I have this beautiful purple potato that, oh, look at that on the black plate. I mean, to me, that's gorgeous. Oh man, have you ever seen such a thing? Man alive, I like that. We're in Texas, okay? I'm gonna add some more potatoes. We learned on Next Level Chef too that it's the sides are the sides, and you wanna present the protein, but we are in Texas. I'm gonna have to add that potato right there. Okay, we're gonna get that steak out of the oven. Now, one thing that you have to remember about cooking these steaks, they have to rest as long as they cooked. Pay attention, cook by instinct. I love to cook by instinct. I touch my meat, I smell it, I know how it sounds, how it's tightening up. You watch it, you poke it and learn if it's medium rare, if it's right at rare, but I cook mine medium rare. Don't overcook your meat. It's disrespectful to go over medium rare. That's all I'm saying. Occasionally there's a steak, I guess you could do medium rare plus. So I'm gonna give you that if you're out there. So we're gonna poke on it, and then we're gonna let it rest for as long as we cooked it, so that when you cut it, your juice doesn't leave. Have you ever cut a steak and all your juice just runs out on the plate? That's because you didn't rest it long enough. I know I hear some people go, rest it 5 minutes, rest it 6 minutes. That's not a thing. You rest it as long as you cooked it. So we're gonna let that rest while we clean up everything and get this plate ready, and then we're gonna taste everything. Okay, I'm so excited to plate this beautiful piece of meat, and I'm so excited to dig into it and taste it. I love the way this plate looks. I love the black. I'm trying to decide how I want this meat to sit here. Kind of show off the potatoes. Yes, I like that. Now, for the chimichurri sauce, the carrot top chimichurri sauce, how do I want that? I think I'm gonna put some on here. I've got a nice sear, and if this was going straight out, it is perfectly fine to just oil that up like that. I do want some of this on my potatoes down here, because it's gonna be delicious. Now, I have my Icelandic thyme-infused salt that's gonna really bring in all that little bit of thyme we kind of basted everything in and baked the potatoes with. We're gonna add a little hint of that. We're gonna come back in with a little more salt. And this is the flakiest, most amazing salt. It's salt vert, and they have different infusions. They have some smoked salt. This has thyme in it. And gosh, when I cook with thyme, I always finish with this salt. Always, it's so, so good. To me, this is a beautiful plate. I love it. I could eat that every night for dinner with a glass of champagne or whiskey sour, but mostly champagne. I'm super proud of that.